What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video where we break down the most twisted, despicable, and cruel characters in the world of animation. And today, folks, we're talking about a villain who fooled a lot of people. A character who showed up smelling like strawberries, with a warm-looking hug and the gentle voice of a sweet grandpa. But deep down, he was hiding a manipulative dictator. We're talking about none other than Lotso Huggin' Bear, the big bad from Toy Story 3. If you also fell for this teddy bear's trap the first time you watched the movie, don't worry. You're not alone. Pixar did an outstanding job crafting a villain who seemed like a kind and welcoming leader, but who turned out to be a ruthless tyrant, driven by bitterness and a thirst for control. And the most shocking part? All that evil was born from a deep sense of rejection. Lotso is one of the coldest and most heartless villains in the entire Toy Story franchise, and today we're going to break down every detail of his journey, understand what motivated him, and analyze whether or not he actually deserved the ending he got. So buckle up, because this story's got betrayal, manipulation, total control, and even some psychological torture. Before becoming the feared ruler of Sunnyside Daycare, Lotso was just a beloved toy owned by a little girl named Daisy. He was her favorite, that one toy she couldn't live without, always by her side during the most important moments of her childhood. Daisy slept with him, took him everywhere, gave him tight hugs, and most of all, she loved that bear. It was the kind of perfect bond every toy dreams of. But life isn't a fairy tale, and fate had other plans. One sunny, happy day, Daisy and her family went out for a picnic. There was laughter, games, tons of fun, and Lotso was there, being hugged and loved like always. But as the day came to an end, something unexpected happened. Daisy and her family left, and they forgot Lotso. Now pause for a second and try to picture this from Lotso's point of view. You spend your whole life being the favorite, feeling like you've got a special place in your owner's heart, and suddenly you're abandoned in the middle of nowhere without a word. And the worst part? You can't speak up, you can't scream, you can't run after her. All you can do is wait and wait and wait. But time passed, night fell, and Daisy never came back. Lotso wasn't alone. With him were two other toys, Big Baby, a large doll with an innocent gaze, and Chuckles the Clown, one of those wind-up toys that looks like it's carrying the weight of the world in its eyes. For hours and hours, they waited there, hoping that any moment now, Daisy would come running back to get them. But she never did. With no other choice, Lotso stepped up and decided they had to find their way home on their own. And that's exactly what they did. It was a long, hard, exhausting journey. Those toys crossed roads, forests, open fields, all to make it back to their owner. They faced rain, dust, freezing nights, and scorching heat during the day. It was a real odyssey, a test of endurance that showed just how much Lotso still believed in Daisy's love. But when they finally got home, reality hit them like a punch to the gut. Daisy was there, in her room, hugging another Lotso, one just like him, but brand new. And in that moment, something inside Lotso shattered forever. There were so many ways he could have handled it. He could have tried to understand that Daisy still loved him, that the new teddy bear wasn't a replacement, just a copy her parents bought to comfort her. But no, Lotso's heart filled with hatred and bitterness, and he decided that if Daisy had moved on, then so would he, but in a completely different way. Consumed by resentment, Lotso lied to Big Baby. He told him that he had been replaced too. He made his friend believe that Daisy didn't love them anymore. He took that sadness and twisted it into something darker, rage. And that's how he became the cruel leader who would later rule Sunnyside with an iron fist. When Woody and the gang arrive at the daycare, Lotso greets them with open arms, a big smile, and kind words. He makes them believe Sunnyside is paradise, a haven for forgotten toys, a place where everyone is welcome, and where they'll never have to feel abandoned again. But it was all a lie. Sunnyside was actually a prison, and Lotso was the warden. He divided the toys into two classes, the veterans, who got privileges and were placed with the older, gentle kids, and the newcomers, who were thrown in with the tiny, destructive toddlers. The result? Toys getting chewed, thrown, scribbled on, stomped, decapitated. It was a total war zone. And the worst part? Lotso didn't just run this brutal system. He made sure everyone stayed in line. He used Big Baby as his enforcer, intimidating any toy who dared question the rules. He manipulated, threatened, and when necessary, used force to make sure no one escaped his control. But Lotso's most heartless moment came when, after being saved by Woody and the others at the dump, he had the chance to do the right thing. And didn't. He could have redeemed himself, He could have shown a little gratitude, but instead, he abandoned them, leaving his fellow toys to die in the incinerator. In the end, Lotso got exactly what he deserved. A garbage man found him and strapped him to the front of a trash truck. Now, tied up, he spends the rest of his life breathing in the stench of garbage, bouncing down the road with nowhere left to run. And that's how Lotso's story ends. A toy who had everything it took to be loved, but chose to be feared. Now, I want to hear what you think. Was Lotso the worst villain in the Toy Story franchise, or is there someone even worse? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you in the next one.